Let's look at this Leetcode rising temperature problem. So we're given one table called weather, and we have columns ID, record date, and temperature. Int, date, and int are the types respectively. The ID is the column with the unique values for this table. It's going to be our primary key. There are no different rows with the same record date. So what I believe this means is if we go at the example, all the record dates are going to be different. And then the table contains information about the temperature on a given day. We want to write a solution to find all dates IDs with higher temperatures compared to its previous dates. So what we're going to do is we need to do a self-join with this table, and we are going to have to use the record date and compare these between the two different tables. So what we want to first do is find all dates IDs. So we're going to select, and then we're going to have all of our dates IDs. And to do this, since we have two tables, let's go into our from, and let's get our first table, weather W1. We're going to select W1 dot, and we want the IDs, so we're going to select the IDs. That's what we're going to do here. Now, we do want a join, so we're going to have this in a second, but we're also going to need a where, because it's going to be where the higher temperatures compared to its previous days. It's the only time it's going to want to add something to our output. So it's going to be where, remember, our higher temperatures compared to the previous days. So when we make this join, we're going to want to join a new table, weather2, W2, and we're going to want to do this where our weather at W1, so W1, is higher than, remember, the previous. So this is our current, and then W2 is going to be our previous, and we'll make sure we code this correctly in our join. So where W1, remember, it has to be higher temperature than the previous day. W1 dot temperature is greater than our W2 dot temperature. Now our join is where the magic has to happen now to bring everything together. So we're going to join weather W2 on. Now we need to use a function to compare the different dates. We're going to use the DATEDIFF function. So it'll look like this. We have date and then just diff and then parentheses. Inside of these parentheses, we are going to want to pass our first date. It's going to be our W1. So we're going to do W1 dot record date. It's like this. And then we're also going to pass in our W2 dot record date like this. So the difference is going to be our W1 record and W2 date. Now it's going to go through, and if we look at this example, it's going to compare all the different ones. We only want to join on the fact that there's a difference of 1. We'll just do 1 equal sign. And if there's a difference of 1, that means there's just a difference of 1 day inside of here. If we look at this first one, we would compare this one and this one, and then this one and this one. Difference of 2. If, again, we had a difference of 2, but we only want it to be a difference of 1. And that is going to be how we can compare our current temperature to the previous day. So we are going to want to select the weather1 ID from our first table, and then we're going to want to join our second table, which is a self-join, so it's basically the same table, on the date difference of our record date for our first table and the record date for our second. And then it has to equal to 1, so there's only a single date difference, and this is going to happen where our temperature of our first table is greater than the temperature of our second table. If all of these conditions are met, we can submit this, and that is how we would do this problem, which is rising temperature. And if you have any other SQL questions or want more problems, check out that playlist in the description below the like button.